Hey YouTube, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. We got a great video on Castor Maritime, ticker symbol CTRM. So earlier today on Monday, April 19th, Castor Maritime put out some new exciting information. Now it seems like every week we constantly hear about Castor Maritime, sometimes multiple times a week. So we got this exciting news. We're going to cover that in the video, go over some of the price action and talk about what's been happening with Castor Maritime. But first, let's take a quick look at the chart. What an amazing day for Castor Maritime today, closing at close to 49 cents, closing in at 0.4884. Now we're up over 8% on the day. Shares traded from a low of 45 cents to a high of 50 cents. Volume was pretty exciting today at 136 million shares traded. Now looking at the chart year to date, Castor Maritime is up over 157%. And if we look at the 6 months, Castor Maritime is up over 225%. So all in all, this year's been fairly good for Castor Maritime. However, looking at the 1 month chart, we are down approximately 46%. And in the short term, in the last 5 days, Castor Maritime is up 11%. So I think we're now starting to see Castor Maritime start to turn around, do a U-turn, and start going up in price. Alright guys, thank you for all the support recently. Thank you for all the subscribers, all the likes. But definitely, if you are receiving value out of these videos, if you are enjoying my content, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on those post notifications, as it helps this information, especially on CTRM, Castor Maritime, get to other people that are interested in learning more about the company. Okay, time for the big exciting news. So today, Monday, April 19th, Castor Maritime announced another vessel acquisition. So looking at the press release, Castor Maritime announced that it entered through a separate wholly owned subsidiary into an agreement to acquire a 2015 Chinese-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier from an unaffiliated third party for a purchase price of $23.5 million. The vessel will be delivered to the company with a time charter contract attached, with a reputable charterer at a daily gross charter rate equal to 114% of the Baltic Panamax Index, and with an estimated remaining term of about 17 to 21 months. The acquisition is expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessel within the second quarter of this year and is subject to the satisfaction of certain customary closing conditions. Petros, the CEO of Castor Maritime, commented, "We are pleased to announce our 11th vessel acquisition in 2021, with the addition of another Kamsarmax dry bulk vessel, our 6th, to Castor's fleet. Upon completion of our announced acquisitions, our fleet will consist of 17 vessels. With significant capital on hand, we continue to look for further opportunities to grow our fleet with the addition of high-quality tonnage." So adding another vessel to their fleet is amazing, is definitely bullish. It's a great sign for Castor Maritime. Now there's a few things I want to point out in this announcement. So the first thing I want to look at is they have acquired a 2015 Kamsarmax. So this is a little newer than previously announced acquisitions. The last few vessels they have acquired have been around 2010 and 2011. So this one, being about 4 to 5 years newer, is definitely greater, as it will have a longer lifespan. However, because it's a newer vessel, there is a higher price tag. When the last few vessels have been in the $15 to $16 million range, this one is at $23.5 million. The second factor I want to look at is the actual rate of the daily gross charter. Now it's equal to 114 of the Baltic Panamax Index. So this is exciting because it's actually over the actual rate. It's 114%. So this is really good for Castor, allowing them to generate more money, more revenue. Also, within that time charter agreement, it is much longer than the last few announced. So the last two that were announced last week on April 16th, there was one that was for 20 days and another time charter agreement on the other vessel for 60 days. So this new vessel bringing in a time charter agreement of 17 to 21 months, so very close to 2 years. So this is very, very good news for Castor Maritime. Now, as mentioned, on a fully delivered basis, Castor Maritime will own a fleet of 17 vessels, consisting of 1 capsize, 6 Kamsarmax, 7 Panamax dry bulk vessels, 1 Aframax, and 2 Aframax LR2 tankers. If you've been following my channel, you know we always like to take a look at the Baltic Exchange Dry Index. So just as a brief overview, in case you're not familiar with the Baltic Exchange Dry Index, this index provides a benchmark for the price of moving the major raw materials by sea. So this index determines the price that shippers such as Castor Maritime can charge to haul these dry bulk goods. Now, the higher the number, the more shippers like Castor Maritime can charge. So anytime this index is raising, this is a very bullish sign for Castor Maritime. So on Monday, April 19th, the Baltic Dry Exchange Index rose 2%, going to a high of 24.32. This is the highest since September of 2019, extending gains for a fourth straight session. All in all, so far a really great day for Castor Maritime, up 8% on the day, a new vessel acquisition, and of course the Baltic Exchange Dry Index up 2%, being the highest since September 2019. Now all in all, it's been quite a bumpy ride for Castor Maritime. At the beginning of the year, the stock was trading at around 19 cents, then early February skyrocketing to a high of $1.95, and then last week going down to the low 40, about 41, 42 cent range. And then today with that powerful force raising up over 8% and having that high of day at 50 cents. So I believe things are turning around and we're slowly going to make our way back to that 195, and I'm sticking to my guns with my $2 price target for end of year 2021. And we need to remember that when we see a stock go from 19 cents to $1.95 in about 5 weeks, there's going to be profit taking. Probably many people took profits or completely exited their position. And the company has finally raised its $125 million through an offering of 192.3 million common shares. However, the interesting factor regarding those common shares is that they were listed at 65 cents, and now Castor Maritime is trading at 48 cents. Now, the dry bulk shipping market is also expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 2.6% in the next 5 years. By fiscal year 2026, the industry size is estimated at $5.1 billion. With steady growth, Castor Maritime looks very well positioned to benefit from this aggressive fleet expansion. In addition, according to the International Chamber of Shipping, the industry is responsible for 90% of world trade. Even with relatively muted economic growth, the dry bulk industry is likely to report decent utilization. Now, just to go over some recent information, Castor Maritime reported cash of $9.4 million as of December 2020. And Castor Maritime announced that their fiscal year 2020, they reported revenue of $12.5 million. Now, Castor Maritime is still extremely volatile and still an extremely risky play. However, with these new recent acquisitions, the BDI, and with their cash on hand, they are sure to turn over a nice profit and generate tons of revenue in 2021. And I can expect more and more vessel acquisitions coming in the near future. And if you watched my last video, I stated that probably within the next week or two, we would hear a new vessel acquisition in the works. And here we have it today, less than a week later, and we have another vessel acquisition. And of course, just to reiterate, it's a newer model, it's a more expensive vessel, and of course it has a much higher time charter agreement with a longer time charter agreement in place. So once again, I'm telling you that I'm still very bullish with Castor Maritime. It's still a long-term hold, 2 to 3 years, possibly longer, and of course, price target of $2 by end of year. As always, as we move forward, any news that comes out regarding Castor Maritime, I will be sure to inform you guys of all the information I can find. Okay guys, let me know your price targets for 2021. Are you buying? Are you holding? Are you glad that you held last week when it started getting very low, when you thought we were going to go below 40 cents? Are you glad you stuck to your guns and held on and kept on to those diamond hands? If there's any stocks that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments down below. I will provide you the due diligence, or look me up on Instagram. And as always guys, happy trading and see you in the next video.